So we have Wale who decides to come for Adrian on the show for absolutely no reason.
Guy, yeah? This guy is so fake. I know he came to Bkchat with these intentions, saying all this flowery shit for the timeline to love him and all that kind of rubbish. It's all fake. Like, his name is not even Adrian. His name's Rashad. But you're talking for retweets. That's why you're talking. Because when people start tweeting, oh, Adrian, and you're going to retweet it, allow it. Don't talk like that, bro.
But when Wale said Adrian's not even his real name, like, are we all CIA government agents now? What's the real tea? What's really going on? Because you don't like it, someone undercovered you. Now there's a sense of exposing people here that I'm seeing, and I did not like that at all. I felt like it's just like, where did that come from? That was like an ugly side of Wale that we saw that we don't normally see. I just felt that a bit weird. And he said, you're constantly doing this for retweets, you're constantly doing this for the TL, but lo and behold, the next day you were the one who put up a poll saying, what do you guys think of me on the show, and gave options. So now who's the one entertaining the TL? Is it him or is it you? That's the real tea for today. Hey guys, it's Ramla. Hope you guys are all doing well today. Definitely another interesting episode. Bkchat just keep on giving. So many different altercations that occurred on the show during this debate, and we will go through every single one of them. Some that you might not have seen and some that you might have. Okay, so first and foremost, I want to address the main few issues. First, Noo-noo's back, and that's in the teaser episode. We're going to see what she says. Her points are quite abstract, and abstract they were. She was talking about how she is allowed to hit a man, but a man cannot hit her.
Yeah, if a guy fucked up, I'll slap him. And I don't care. Like, he's a man. Like she said, a man is strong. He has the physical ability. So he should not even think about...
So, you know, that kind of expectation, she lacks expectations. She lacks the thought process of expectations, of consequences of what might happen next. She's not able to comprehend or understand what might happen next. Or, as Sia says, natural human reactions. She has depleted that from her entire thought process. Her mindset is just gone, eradicated, disappeared. And over time, you know, I was quite irritated from seeing this point again. It's the same old Noo-noo. Either she's paid to do this or she's just there to cause a controversy. It's irritating. It's annoying. She's constantly doing it. Whatever.
Punching a man. You're saying that. Wait.
And I was going to make a few points about how I'm annoyed by it, but finally at the end, she actually understands that she can be wrong and she was wrong, and everybody was just happy for once.
My mind has changed now. I kind of understand where you're coming from.
Small moment of time, everybody united over Noo-noo, over Noo-noo's lack of nonsense becoming sense. She finally understood that people can possibly hit each other in a relationship. It can happen. You should not feel the need to hit someone to deplete their pride. That makes no sense, because by you doing that, you also have pride. Another point that Adrian made that I thought that was very good. But for this episode, granted, we're not going to get into Noo-noo as much. We're not going to analyze it because I feel like we've done that enough. And by doing that, we are wasting time, because she constantly acts the same way regardless. For views, for controversy, that's how she is. Whatever the reason is, we don't need to go into 24/7. All I can say is that Noo-noo made nonsense points. I did not agree with them. Constantly attempting to deplete someone's pride shows something's wrong in your mindset, and the ideology that you have is already misconstrued from the get-go, already from the beginning, because it does not make any sense. However, you understood your points and that you were wrong. You learned. You made progression for the first time, Noo-noo, and I'm happy. Hopefully this goes to a long road of progression. But no, Noo-noo should be back to her old ways in the next episode. And then we have Ramla.
There's no way I can say something to you and you've got the right to touch my skin. There's no way in hell. Are you alright? Are you alright? What fantasy world? What fantasy world? Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? You're actually just opening your mouth. You're just actually opening your mouth.
I said in a couple of episodes ago that I cannot evaluate Ramla enough as a character because she did not have a great input in those particular episodes. However, in this one she did. She stood up for herself. She stood up for her rights, her points. She came and she just came for Max. And I'm happy for her because we got to see her character, how she is, how she's like. She's constantly on her point all the time, does not back down at all, especially when it came to Max and they were making them points, and Max saying that a woman's words are equates to a man's physicality. That simply does not make sense, Max, and I disagree with you, because how can these two be on the same level if they lead to different consequences? Words just lead to someone being hurt, feelings, emotions. Physicality can lead to death. So two very different things. Yes, words can also lead to death, but that's because you're not in control of your actions and you might need to improve yourself as a character or as a person. So I don't believe in what Max is saying. However, in terms of his thoughts process and how he gains to certain ideas, there is some sense there, and I do like the way he thinks at times. Nevertheless, we have Ramla, who I feel like she was right in the point where no matter what I say, you should not lay your hands on me, and vice versa. Yes, people have a way of manipulating, they might have intentions, but you as a person, you need to control yourself and your actions. Just like Sia was saying when she was talking about her issue, she controlled herself, and although Ramla was saying, yes, I might not want to, I'm angry in this point, then that is a default in yourself as a person. You need to control yourself regardless of every situation. When it comes to your anger, you need to just loosen it, and loosen it now. So when it came to this altercation between Ramla and Max, both of them were arguing, they were fighting, they were heating up, and this was the second most important thing on this entire debate. The third most important thing was Noo-noo and her nonsense abstract comments, and the fact that everyone was checking her. But this is what Noo-noo does, so we're not surprised. It happens. And then we have Ramla, who is literally coming out of character for the first time. This is why it's important, especially for viewers, because this is the first time we're seeing Ramla for what she actually is. Not that she's some demon or some crazy person, but we're actually seeing her coming out of her character, being boisterous, being defended, constantly defending and not backing down from her points. And I agree with her, no, regardless of what I say, what you say, even though I might hold my mom to a high regard, as Max was saying, as a person, you need to control your actions, because physicality, being physical with someone does not lead to any great consequence. It will just get worse, worse and worse. It's domestic violence. So I like Ramla. Hats off to you for your support, your point. I do support what you were saying, and I'm actually happy that you've come in your character for the first time. This is the first time as an audience we can build a connection with you. We are warming towards you. We know what you're saying. That bridge is being built, and we can understand what you're saying. So Ramla, when you're on the recurring episodes, keep with this character in terms of being, not letting your opinions being swallowed up by everybody else, maybe because you're new to the group or whatever the reason actually is. Hats off to you, Ramla. Then we have this whole, the fourth most important, I spoke about the third, which is Noo-noo and her points. The second is Ramla and Max altercating, and the fourth one, which I didn't even touch on, is Chioma and Noo-noo had their altercation as well, that a lot of people did not notice.
Let me land. I will never get, listen, let me land. I will never get to a point where I will physically hurt you. I will never get to a point where I will physically...
Chioma was obviously attempting to tell Noo-noo, don't get in my face, and then she kind of barged her. Now, I can understand what you're saying, Chioma, and you're teaching her a lesson in how Noo-noo does have a tendency and a habit to interrupt people and barge them, but I don't think you should be barging her back to display what you're trying to say. You should just let her know, listen, this is the reason we're doing, don't do it. Now, however, people are in anger, emotion, in debate, things happen, it is what it is. I can totally understand where Chioma was coming from. However, that was a small altercation I saw between them two, and Chioma seemed very irritated and annoyed by what Noo-noo was doing. Maybe she was just annoyed in general because the conversation was heated, or maybe she was very annoyed at Noo-noo. We don't know what the situation is because we don't know them, but we're only judging from I'm only judging from what I'm seeing. That's basically what I'm doing. So we don't know what that was about, but that was some small tea, and I was thinking, okay, Chioma about to pop off, because I was waiting to see what's going on there. I wasn't even checking for what Ramla was saying. Ramla and Max, when they were fighting, I left that to let them do what they're doing, and I was looking at Chioma and Noo-noo thinking, this is the real tea, what's going on here? But the first most important thing I want to touch on is this whole Wale and Adrian nonsense. This is what I want to touch on. There was no need for Wale to come down for no reason at all.
I clocked it. I don't know what this is, but Adrian, I don't know, sometimes the way you talk is that you talk for the TL, you talk for the Twitter TL, you talk for people to agree with you.
I understand why he had to just throw daggers at Adrian. I'm actually surprised that Adrian just held himself and did not defend himself. I think he just said, you know what, if it happens, it happens, whatever, I'm not even going to entertain this nonsense. I think that's what he was saying. And a lot of the boys, basically on that cast, I feel are threatened by Adrian. Now, I said this about Lucas, it appears that Agogo might be as well, and so is Wale. I don't understand why yes, he might have indented a comment to make a point, but that does not mean that he is creating a perception about you guys to the public. That's not what he's doing, or you don't know that's what he's doing. I feel like you're creating this perception as if he is. The situation really does reinforce the fact that men on this particular platform, the boys, no, I shouldn't say men, the boys on this platform are literally threatened by Adrian's presence, his knowledge, the way he speaks and what he says. Now they say he's fake, he's behind the scenes, is very different. I don't give a damn about that, because I'm not going to go waste my time and find out what he does behind the scenes, because this is a review of the show. This is not a review of the show and what goes on behind the scenes and who's fake and who's real. I'm not part of FBI, I'm not CIA. I'm simply just reviewing the show. So he might be fake behind the scenes, he might be doing something completely different, he might be a murderer or whatever. That's not my problem. I'm reviewing the show. So for people to say, for the rest of the cast to say, oh, we stayed behind the scenes, he's not real, what's going on, that just really just highlights the immaturity and the nonsense that's coming out of your mouth, and that puts you more down as a person than that actually person. Attempting to expose someone or talking behind their backs or saying something else about them makes you sound far more worse than the actual person. This is what people don't need, this is what people don't realize. And then you want to sit here in this kitchen attempting to have intellectual conversations. A definite contradiction between them both. But nevertheless, that was very interesting, and that kind of just shocked me. And you know them things that you see on TV or reviews of shows or whatever, when you see shows or whatever, and it makes you feel uncomfortable. Like there's just a part of you that you just see this part, and you're just thinking, like it's just a bit uncomfortable for you. And then you wonder why this happens. You know, why people act the way they do. It's just, I don't know, I didn't see that coming, and that really took me off guard. And Wale, I don't want to see this happening again from you. Like, I don't understand. Like, you contradicted yourself, you attempted to come from, you attempted to expose him, and it only put you down more as a character, and you're the one getting the hate right now, not him. So your plan clearly failed. I said this before, and I'm going to say it again, that I find quite interesting is that Sia knows how to control the room.
Let me finish. When you're in a heated situation, morals and values are out of the window. So, unless he is someone...
She knows how to control the room. A lot of people don't let people finish when it comes to sentences on that particular show, because everything gets heated, they want to get involved, it happens. But one person who knows how to tame everybody in that room and let them get their point across is Sia. When she says, let me finish, she continuously says that, and she looks at everybody when it comes to eye contact, especially the people making their points, and she said, I'm going to make my point, I'm going to make it now. People understand, they respect it, she gets the respect because she demands it. And I just find that interesting. I thought that made that as a point, that she knows how to control the room. And she was making a good point about how some the courts and so what can favour in women majority of the time. However, she did not make knowledge of the fact that sometimes that is not the case as well. Since Sia is an advocacy for highlighting the other side or other perspective, I feel like she was just saying in a one-way perspective that women gain advantage. Not all women gain advantage from the system. Like, there are plenty of countries where their systems are completely unruled, like in many Asian countries, many Arab countries, many African countries, many American Latina countries, where ladies aren't seen as high and the men are. So what's that about, Sia? I didn't see you raise that point. Since you always want to raise different perspectives, I thought you would this time, but you kind of only made it one perspective, and I just felt like you shouldn't have done so, because there are places where women aren't dealt with at all, and a lot of people know that, and it's common knowledge. So I thought I'd just bring that out there as well. Because some women get hit in marriages, but they have to take it, and they have no rights and justices. So unless you're talking about UK, which I feel like you did not specify, that is definitely not the case. And I find it quite sad that everybody is dismissing Adrian's point about how he said that some women will get hit in a relationship, or some men will get hit in a relationship regardless. You could be picture perfect. It could be a great relationship. You've done everything, you're behaving, they're behaving, but something might be wrong with them when it comes to their personality. There might be psychopathic tendencies.
There's plenty of relationships out here where regardless of if the woman patterns her speech, she will still get hit.
Or just because they want to hit you, or they might have aggression genes in them, you don't know what it is, but they could just hit you, and therefore domestic violence has happened. That is a point that was very important, and probably the most important point addressed, that it can happen regardless of situation. However, nevertheless, everybody just dismissed that point, and I find that quite shocking and weird.
Oh, but that's what we're talking about.
No. Now you're making excuses. You're making excuses because that's what it is. Yeah, no.
So I don't know if this is this theory that I'm putting forward, that some of the men are some of the boys, not men, some of the boys are threatened by Adrian's presence. I don't know what this is. This is some weird, because we might have to just wait to the reunion about this whole of them being threatened, he's different behind the scenes. I don't know what this tea is that people are attempting to spill. I don't even know. Like, one episode you have Lucas just being some evil villain, and the next episode he's just a good prince. Like, I don't understand why there's a constant change in character. I feel like Bkchat constantly won't put back-to-back episodes of Lucas being bad, because it will be too much for the show to handle, too much negative feedback. They kind of make sure the feedback is at a constant graph. Maybe that's why. But he was very quiet for the first half of the episode. Perhaps he was listening. I don't even know. One minute he's just so bad, one minute he's so good. It is what it is. But thank you guys for watching my review. Let me know what you guys think of it, and let me know what you guys think of Wale coming for Adrian like that, if it was a low blow or if it wasn't. What your thoughts on Max and Ramla, and how Ramla was. What about Chioma and Noo-noo, or what do you think of Noo-noo's points? Who do you think came on the strongest for you? Let me know what you guys think, because I read all comments below. Hit me up on Instagram, my Snapchat, my Twitter, and my website, please. Show me some love and subscribe if you guys want to as well, and if you like my reviews. Thank you guys for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. Make sure no one takes away your happiness. Make sure no one takes away your joy. Be as productive as possible, so forth. And don't let anybody steal your happiness or your joy for today and always. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys soon.